High-tech original equipment manufacturers, OEMs, include companies such as Apple, Dell, Ericsson, GE, Oracle, Panasonic, Samsung, Siemens, and Sony. These are large global companies well known as high-tech brand owners. These OEMs, and a large number of smaller OEMs, plan and manage creation, sales, and support of high-tech products and services. To do this, each OEM invests in its own in-house resources and also makes partnerships with other industry players. To sell to consumers, some OEMs have direct sales activities, and most develop distributor, retailer, and installer networks. Sometimes these are part of the OEM organization, but often they are independent companies. Sales to industrial companies are different, mainly because a sales contract is more complex. For direct materials, which will be built into products by the industrial consumer, the sales contract must include many conditions, such as packaging, quantities per shipment, flexibility in dates and volumes, shipping instructions, order and delivery documentation procedures, and responsibility for goods in transit. For indirect materials, which will be used in-house by the industrial consumer, the sales agreement will cover details, such as schedule, access to customer resources, acceptance tests, handover, and training. So OEMs usually operate both a direct sales organization and an ecosystem of partners. Industrial customers also need to access maintenance and repair capabilities. So OEMs create in-house and partner service functions to meet the need. These service organizations can also serve consumer customers. To build a product, an OEM buys a wide range of items, for example, plastic cases and metal mounting frames. But here, we're going to focus on component manufacturers who supply the core electronic components to OEMs. A successful component manufacturer handles the same complex contract conditions we saw for OEMs selling to their industrial customers. In addition, a key strategy to win and retain OEM business is to make it easy for the OEM to incorporate components into a product. The component manufacturer does this by offering extensive product information and support, with configuration rules, standard reference designs, and suggestions on suitable production processes. If the component manufacturer handles all the manufacturing, using its own foundry to build integrated circuits, and its own assemble, package, and test functions to turn these ICs into chips, then it is known as an integrated device manufacturer. But, in recent years, many foundries and assemble, package, test providers have become independent and offer their production capacity to the market. This has allowed some OEMs and component manufacturers to outsource all manufacturing and focus on design and intellectual property. These manufacturers are known as fabless providers. Several types of supplier have emerged, including contract design. Often, these companies are specialists to support specific parts of a design, for example, wireless communication. Electronic manufacturing services, EMS, also known as electronics contract manufacturing. Foxconn is a large and well-known example of these subcontract manufacturers. It manufactures iPhones and iPads for Apple. But there are also many smaller EMS companies, often specialists in particular processes or with certifications for particular industries. Original design manufacturer, ODM. These are very similar to EMS companies, but an ODM also invests in design and makes whole products for an OEM to rebrand and sell. As well as direct OEM relationships, component manufacturers also sell through component distributors source components from many manufacturers. So they provide a one-stop shop, not only for OEMs, but also for the OEM's partners and other industrial customers. Machinery for silicon chip production and test is so specialized that it has its own name, semiconductor capital equipment, which is usually shortened to SemiCab. OEMs, foundries, component manufacturers, Assemble, packaging, and test companies, as well as EMS and ODM firms, buy these semi-cap machines because they need the specialist capabilities. So here it is, the high-tech industry structure, a global network which connects some of the world's most advanced manufacturing processes through the OEMs to industrial and consumer customers.